Hi everyone, we are live from San Francisco and this is the XD Daily Creative Challenge, your daily source of inspiration when it comes to screen design, UI, UX in Adobe XD. And actually today you receive your first challenge. Thanks for joining me. I'm Michael. I see M. Grant, I see Niklas, Nana in the chat, Aaron. Thanks for watching. We will be live together for 25 minutes more or less, and we will discover today's challenge. So if you don't know what the Daily Creative Challenge is, we invite you to visit this page. It's behance.net/Daily Creative Challenge where you can register. And you can also bookmark this page because every day around 8 a.m. Pacific time, we will unveil the challenge of the day, and this will be the case for 2 weeks, okay? So this is the first day, and as you can see today, it's an event web page, a classic Eventbrite experience, I would say. And Marissa actually created a template for you that we will discover together. And you can watch the replay of this video right after, okay? Like in 30 minutes, the replay will be available. Thanks for joining, everyone. I see Alexander, Ricardo. And also, when you join, we invite you to participate in our Slack, okay? Our Slack channel. So if you click on Join Us on Slack, and this is where we announce everything. So you have the announcement channel, where we reveal the challenge also every day, plus a link to the template. We also announce every time there is a live show such as this one, so this will happen every day. But also during the day, what's cool is that you can jump in the design feedback channel, for instance, and share your design. And we have mentors, we have professional designers, and they will provide feedback on your design and say, maybe you can improve this, you can work on typography there. If you have a bug with XD, any question, you can go in the Help General channel, you can introduce yourself. So that's the idea, just to create a friendly and vibrant community around screen design so we can all learn together, because design is like sport, you know, you practice a little bit every day, you just need some motivation, and you will see, you will become a better designer after 2 weeks. So that's great. So today, you remember the challenge is a event web page, I think. Let's check. Yeah, event web page. Design web page for an event, display the date, location, content, and a clear call to action to register. So if you download the template, this is what you will get. And Marissa, every day, she's also on Slack. She creates templates with a wireframe, you know, just with classic shapes. Also, she shares some color themes, some inspiration, and some additional resources. So we will start from here. And today is a web design challenge. You will see during these 2 weeks, we will do web design, but also mobile app prototyping. We will do voice prototyping, a lot of animations. So let's start, I would say, with the classic use case, which is a one-page experience. And let's start with some basic design. Okay, so if you look at how the template is structured, you have a header here with the logo. So maybe we can rename the page. Okay, maybe you can drop me some names in the chat to compete with Eventbrite. Let's try to compete with them. I will type Eventify, but if you have a better idea, I will pick it from the chat. And here I have my navigation. So usually with the template by default, Marissa uses Arial because Arial is installed on Mac and Windows, and XD is free and available on Mac and Windows. So I will use something that is available on Adobe Fonts, which is Lato. And you can create in the Assets panels, which is on the left here, character styles. Okay, so I will save this. This is my title. Okay, and for my navigation here, I will also switch to Lato. Looks good. And create a character style that I can rename. So I can say this is my navigation style. Navigation, here we go. So once you select other text elements, just click on navigation and boom, that's it. It will change it to the right font with the right size. Okay, event book, Go events. Okay, I will go with Go events. Let's do that. And maybe we need to tweak this like this. Yeah, looks good. Okay, now we need a color theme. We compete with Eventbrite, which is green. You have some colors here, so you can select some colors and click on colors here. It will create global colors in your assets. And I will choose this one. I like this one. So I will say this is my main color. And we will try to use this color as a base for everything. So if I select the background, here we go. It's still easy to read. Yeah, okay, I like it. I will remove the border. Okay, looks good to me. Same here. Let's start with the main color. So why I'm always picking the same color in the assets panel is that if for some reason at some point, let's say you work for a customer and the customer tells you, okay, we know we want to compete with Eventbrite, but they use green. It's too bold, it's too obvious that we want to compete with them. Maybe we should try something different. You can go in the assets panel, right click, say edit, and then change a different theme, and it will update, you see the color in all your screens. So that's the beauty of it. Cone design, you're asking, is it accessible? So far, we're just prototyping an experience. That's the goal of XD, just to communicate ideas. And then you will hand off to developers and they can make the experience accessible. Mint green, yes, Ariel, good point. Okay, so here I need a picture and I want to promote an Adobe Creative Jam. So if you're not familiar, it's a very cool Adobe event, and there is one coming in Relic in November 15. Okay, so let's try to do this. I will take this picture, but I want this picture, you see, to fit in this rectangle. So the trick is to use an object as a mask, okay, a shape as a mask. So what I do usually is that I place the picture and I put it in the back. So put it in the back, you can say send to back here, but I really invite you to learn the shortcuts. Okay, so using the brackets, so Command Shift brackets in my case. Then I will select the picture and the shape and do Command Shift M or Control Shift M on Windows, and it will create a mask. And this is non-destructive, so at any time you can double click and you can rearrange the picture, click outside and see how it goes, okay? Here, I will display the name of the event and some information. I will add a little bit of opacity so we can just expose the picture a little bit. So I will press 9 just to get like 90% of opacity, should be enough. And here, the date is something important. So maybe the fill here shouldn't be that transparent and should be darker. Do something, yeah, like this. I think it's better. Again, I'm not a big fan of Arial, so let's try to use professional fonts such as Lado. Arial is good, but it's overused because it's a default font in your browser. And then we will add some text. Okay, so what's going on? It's an Adobe Creative Jam. We will make it pop. And maybe we'll make it bold, this one. Here we go. Yes, Adobe Creative Jam. And we will add a tagline. I like to work in regular values. So if I'm at 36, I like to work like in 28. You know, I would never try to do like 27 and stuff. It will be easier for the developer after, you know, when he will create, when they will create the CSS for H1, H2, etc. I prefer to use like round values, and we'll say it's a creative meetup. If people don't know what this is. Here I see that Marissa added this logo, so I guess it's an invitation for me to place the location. Here we go. I will reuse this gray. And we'll do relic. Okay. So when you do a text like this, you can also resize using this. But then you can end, you know, on 15, which I don't like, so I will do 16. Okay, and maybe I will use the same gray because it's a secondary information. Good. Now remember, we want a clear call to action, such as register. So let's use register. Again, let's use Lato. We do this. And so I don't know what you think, but it doesn't pop out, okay? So because we're using a green theme, which is more on the cold side, I want to use a warm color just to pop out, okay? And to make my call to action very clear. So we'll use something like this. Okay, register. So I have the structure of my page, but you remember in the challenge, we want you to add also some information about the content and date, location, and stuff. So I will show you something super fun. I will duplicate this. I will make it in a dark gray, and we will do something like description to describe the event. Okay, and now I want to add a description. So we say, hi, this is a description. Line 2. It's good to do line 2, you see, because I can control the space between my lines, and I see that it's messed up. So I will first say that I want something light around 18. And the space should be 20, or maybe 22 to really make, I want my text to get some air, some room to breathe. And I will convert this, because now it's a point text, so this is why I can do this. I want to convert this as a text box, more like as a paragraph. So you can click here, okay, and it will become a area text. Here we go. So I can really set the dimension and maybe try to end in the center of this. Here we go. I have the smart guides and a few lines. And now I need to type lorem ipsum, okay? So with lorem ipsum, you would go on a website and stuff, but there is something that we introduced in Adobe XD, which are plugins. So here you go in plugins and you can say discover plugins, and one of them is actually a lorem ipsum plugin. So if I type lorem here, we have a search engine, and you can install a lorem ipsum. Once it's installed, it's in your plugin menu, so you can select the text area. You do plugin, lorem ipsum, quick lorem ipsum, boom. And that's it, okay? Super fast, huge time savers. So try to discover all the plugins that we have in XD now. It's super useful. Let's continue with the structure of the page. I guess we have another one, which is more about date and location with more details. I see a map here. So to display a map, what I usually do, really to save time, I just go on Google Maps. I type Raleigh, here we go, and I will just make a screenshot. Okay, so I will pick I don't know this city, so I will just make a screenshot here. Go back to XD, paste it, and it's another opportunity for me to show you again that you can create a mask with a shape. So we'll put it in the back, select my shape. So again, you select the picture, you select the shape, Command-Shift-M, and you have a mask, okay? And I will move the cursor and do it here. So again, because I use global colors, I can control here the color of my call to action and try with blue, but you see it's a little bit melted. Actually, yeah, purple is not too bad. Actually, I like it. But this one is really obvious, that's what I like. So that's one web page. And then what happens when you register? So Marissa here, she added this, this pop-up that I will quickly design also. We do add a background. Checkout, okay. And I guess that the intent here is that if I click on register, I want to display this pop-up on top. So to do that in XD, you go to the prototype view, and we will say, if I click on register, I want to display this artboard. But it's not a classic transition. It will be an overlay. And you see the green rectangle here, it shows you the overlay. So I will place it here. I will make sure that I still have a fill. Here we go. And now we will launch the prototype. So you can click here on the desktop prototype, or you can do Command Enter. And if I click on register, I have the pop-up. And then you click anywhere and the overlay will disappear. So that's one technique which is cool when you do web design. And the developer, it will be super easy for the developer to understand what you are doing with an overlay. Another thing that is important that I wanted to show you, so let me put it here. And that's what is cool with XD is you can really experiment and try different things. Here, if you look at my artboard, you will see there is a blue line, a dashed blue line here. So what is this? When you create a new artboard and you have templates here, so we'll create a new artboard for the web. And let's say that I'm adding some placeholders, some content. Okay, we just quickly duplicate this. Here we go. And I need more space, so we'll try to extend the size. And you see the blue line appears. So the blue line is default, and this is something that you can change manually. But what does it mean? It means that when I launch the prototype, you see the fold and I can scroll. So if you click on an artboard and check on the right, I have enabled vertical scrolling and my fold is at 863 pixels. This is how it works. But I know that there is something super confusing, like we all make this mistake with XD, so I want to show you what's happening. I will duplicate the artboard. So to duplicate, you press Command D or Control D, such as duplicate. And let's say that on the second screen, if I click on this pin, then I want to add some information. So I will do something like this, move it here. If I double click, I can actually edit the shape. So I'll do something like this. And maybe I will add some more information about the place. So it's the great venue, let's say. Here we go. So very simple interaction here. If I click here, I want to jump to this screen. So let's see what happens by default. I go to prototype and I say if I click here, I want to jump to this artboard. So it's a classic transition. I can use dissolve, I can use none actually, that's usually what's happening on the web. But let's see what happens. I preview my page, I scroll down, okay, classic web design. I click here and I go to the top of the page. So I am on the new page, but it goes to the top. So when you do web design in XD and when you have a scrolling experience and you transitions from one page to another one, remember to check this box, okay? Preserve the scroll position. Just one checkbox, and it makes a huge difference because if I click now, here we go. I'm on the second screen. Okay, so just an additional tip to help you. Also, we could think about something more maybe modern in terms of web experience. So again, I will just duplicate this and try something new. Okay, and I have a huge canvas, so I can really move around and try something else. Maybe I want to stay, like I don't want to pop up or don't want to transition to a new page. I want to stay really in the same experience using CSS transitions. I mean, it will be the job of the developer. I am the experience designer, so I don't really care. So that's my first state, okay, the page. I will duplicate this page. And I say that if I click on the register button, actually, I want the size of the button to extend. I want this to move here because I have an additional question for this user. How many tickets do you need? Okay, and maybe we can do like a super easy experience. Okay, so I will really design something super quickly. It won't be very impressive, but I should make it. We just say 1. This is Lato. Let's use regular, maybe 16. Make it like this. Centered. Okay, I will take this element and I will use the repeat grid. So it's in the top right corner here. Repeat grid. Okay, let's extend and maybe we can go up to 5 tickets. And I can edit each element. Great. And once my repeat grid is set, I can ungroup the grid. So I will ungroup it and select the 3 elements and change the opacity to 50%. Okay, because by default, it will take 1 ticket. Good. So let's see now what's going on if I say in prototype, switch to prototype. If I click on register, I want to jump to this screen. But this time I want to use auto animate with a snap for 600 milliseconds. I launch my prototype, I click on register, and you see the button like takes more space, so my eyes are still focused on this call to action. And I can duplicate this page, change the opacity of this one. This one I will to 100% and say that actually the user in my story is clicking on 3, and it will be a classic transition this time with none, because we are coming back to a classic web experience. So I click on register, I can select 3, I select the number of tickets, and I register. Again, another way to explore an event page. And it's really up to you. When you participate in the XD Daily Creative Challenge, you don't have to use the template. You can really create whatever you have in mind and just explore everything. But at the end, what we want you is to share your design. So you can record a video, you can select the artboards, click on export or do Command E or Control E, such as export. When you export PNG files, always click web and say that you design at 1. So it will export a high resolution version, and it will be beautiful on retina screens, high density screens. And then we want you to jump on Behance and create a project to share what you have created. So if you don't have a Behance profile, it takes really like 2 minutes to create one. You click on create a project, and you can upload a screen, your screens, your pictures, you can upload a video, you can embed an interactive prototype. I will show you this week how to do that. But today we will just create a screen. So to upload your screens, I really invite you to use the photo grid if you have multiple screens. It's a way nicer experience. And we will select the one you see where it says 2x. That's the high resolution ones. And it will automatically create a beautiful grid. I can add text here and say, this is my event page experience. So you explain that you are participating in the Daily Creative Challenge. Then you say continue. You can add a title. You can upload your own cover. Actually, I've prepared one that is better. There we go. That is inspired by this beautiful animation by Oddfellows. Big shout out to Oddfellows for this great new animation. We just zoom in like this. But the most important part is to go in the project settings. So tool used, make sure to say that you use Adobe XD. The Adobe XD will be super happy to review your work, and also it gives you great chances to be featured in the Adobe XD gallery. So remember to put the Adobe XD tool. And in discoverability, if you check our page here, step number 3, share it on Behance by adding the keyword XD Daily Challenge. So that's what we want you to add. You go in keywords, XD Daily Challenge, and you can publish. So why so? It's because the team, we have a link, and I can share it on Slack with you, where we can review all the projects that you shared. Okay, so, and these are projects from the previous XD Daily Creative Challenge. So super easy. The team, so myself, Marissa, Chris Cannon that is in the chat, Zach, Lee, the Adobe XD team, we will all be on Slack today to help you if you have any question. Make sure to join Slack. We will display the URL again. We have a short URL for it. It's bit.ly/XD Slack. Make sure to type XD in all caps, XD Slack. And yeah, we'll be there all day. And yeah, we will look at what you share. And tomorrow I will be live again with a new challenge, and I will feature some of the projects that you will be publishing today, okay? Today it was about web design. To give you a hint, tomorrow it will still be web design. Maybe you can anticipate what we'll be doing. but let's create today a beautiful event page experience. And stay tuned, we will still be live, okay? We are coming back in about 5 minutes on behance.net/live, because today we are welcoming amazing video creators who will be working in this new app called Adobe Premiere Rush that has been unveiled at Max. It was just 2 weeks ago. And we are very lucky to have them. We will start with Jeremy. It will be hosted by Evan. So stay tuned and see you in about 5 minutes on behance.net/live. Bye, everyone.